Hey Apex Agents, it's Mobius Y here with another video for Mass Effect Andromeda's multiplayer. So this is part 2 of today's character build guide where we take a look at the Turian Havoc Trooper. Now if you have not seen part 1 where I go over the specific build and how to spec the character's skills out as well as what equipment and consumables I'm using in this particular gameplay, I highly recommend checking it out. There will be a link in the description below to part 1 where we go over this particular character build. So playing this Turian Havoc Trooper setup. She's dubbed the gunship, and she's dubbed that for a reason, a very good reason. We got a very good map for the character I was playing, Firebase Derelict, and we are against the Ket faction. Firebase Derelict is a really good map for this particular character build because it's extremely difficult for enemies at great distances to be able to shoot you when you're jumping up in the air trying to rain bullets down on people. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a proper time and place to jump up in the air and shoot things. Don't think that just because you have passive bonuses for flying in the sky that you have to jump 20 freaking feet in the air all the time whenever you need to shoot people. No, you don't see me do it every time I try to gun people down, although I do it quite often in order to make use of the accuracy bonuses and the damage resistance that I get from floating through the sky. But I don't do it all the time, and I don't jump as high as you possibly can. This is a huge mistake that some people do when trying this build out on their own, is that they regularly jump as high as their character will allow them and then start floating. This creates all sorts of problems because certain maps like Firebase Nimbus, which is essentially a long rectangular kind of map with no major breaks across the entire length, in a certain direction, the entire length of the map. Enemies can shoot you from on the other side of it, pretty much. This essentially takes you out of any cover. Remember that when you are floating through the sky, if you are jumping as high as you can go before hovering, there is nothing around you to block shots from multiple angles. So there's no need to constantly jump as high as you possibly can in order to aim down and shoot things. And the other problem that this creates is that if you're trying to shoot something that's only 10 meters in front of you, it's a lot harder to line up the shot when you are hovering towards them in one direction, but also have to shoot downwards at them. It's just a lot easier if you simply jump at half height, or just do a little hop where you're hovering 2 feet above the ground. Then it's a heck of a lot easier to line up your shots and hit them consistently where you need to, which is essentially the head, in order to try and take down enemies as quickly as possible. And it's not just the Turian Havoc Trooper where people constantly make the mistake of jumping super high in the sky and exposing themselves to fire from all sorts of angles. People do that when they're evading a lot too, but the Turian Havoc Trooper doesn't really have that problem because we've got the damage resistance bonuses while hovering and the damage resistance bonuses while evading as well. So she's a lot more forgiving in that aspect, but you'll see it numerous times where I just make a little hop and I hover about 2 feet off the ground to gun down people in front of me. Or I only jump about half of the possible maximum height in order to gun some people down. You don't have to jump super freaking high in the sky all the time. I do it a few times, but only when I know for a fact that the only people that are going to be able to shoot me are the people that I'm trying to shoot and kill anyways. So keep that in mind, and you'll see that quite a bit in the gameplay. You'll also see the extreme utilitarian purposes of having Incinerate as a detonator power. You will see me set off my own tech bursts after priming them with my disruptor ammo from shooting people with enough bullets. You'll see me set off a few biotic combos off of the Asari Adept teammates' Annihilation Field, which is a fantastic proximity primer. I was able to set off a few biotic combos by hitting things within the Annihilation Field's radius of the Asari Adept and setting off a combo that way. And we also had an Angara Exemplar, I believe it is, which has both Overload and Spectrite Energy Drain that act as primers for tech bursts as well. And you see it not a heck of a lot, just a couple times where I do set off some tech bursts because the player playing the Angara Exemplar primed them with one of his electric powers. So it is just such a better option to go with the detonation rank 6 evolution on Incinerate than it is with the double Incinerate on this character. And this particular build in general, really. You will see me use a little bit of Flat Cannon. As I said, I don't really like the power very much. It's largely a utilitarian power, but I do get some use out of it. I think I only use it maybe 20 times throughout the entire gameplay. As I said, it's a utilitarian stagger power, and it's good for shooting things that are right in your face. Things like Ket Wraiths or Outlaw Adhees, but mostly just other mooks and some sub-bosses. It's a good stagger power. It's a good utility stagger power, which can be used at any time provided you have the power cells available. So you will see a little bit of that going on. But largely, this is a very weapon-focused character, and this is a very weapon-focused kind of playstyle due to the character build. So you'll see me trying to focus on bosses a little bit, singling out sub-bosses as quickly as possible first, and then trying to take on bosses mostly. But I will also be dropping mooks as quickly as possible if I consider them threats. There are a couple mistakes later on in the game, but for the most part, I think I play this game fairly well. Not a huge amount of mistakes up until about wave 6, in my opinion. So there's really not much else to say. It's fairly, as I said, it's fairly straightforward. The big quirk to being effective with this character build is essentially knowing how high you need to jump. As I ranted about in the beginnings of this. So hopefully the rest of the gameplay will speak for itself, how you can play this character, how you can use this character build guide effectively. I highly recommend going with this kind of a setup for your Turian Havoc Trooper. It's a heck of a lot more fun than the very conventional, just take the maximum possible health and shield bonuses in the aerial assault passive tree to make her as tanky as possible, and then just play her identically to a human soldier with Incinerate instead of Concussive Shot. Honestly, I did that for quite a while, and I found it kind of boring because I've got both my human soldiers almost to level 20. Well, one of them is level 20 because I've done a build guide for the human soldier already, but the other one is almost level 20, and I played both of them that way already, so playing a third character in nearly identical playstyle is extremely stale. This is way more for fun factor, and it is still pretty effective. So I really hope you take this to heart. Give it a try. Tell me how you like it. Tell me what you don't like about it. Just let me know how it goes in the comments below, what you like and dislike about this particular character build. So enjoy the rest of the gameplay. This has been Mobius Y for Mass Effect Andromeda. Reminder that this two-part character build guide today is the final Mass Effect Andromeda video that I'm putting out for December 2017. I will be back with a usual Tuesday upload on January 2nd to kick off the new year. Hoping to come up with something cool, but I definitely don't want to do just some gameplay. It may wind up just being a weapon or another character build guide. So, weapon review. Excuse me. So we'll see how that goes. I would like to do something way more unique and cool, to be totally honest. And hopefully I can come up with something by then. So, as I said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the battlefield. Good luck, Apex.